First guest today, he started his life lessons on the gridiron at UConn, and now he's inspiring others through the art of writing. So we would like to welcome here to CT Style, author and educator, and of course UConn alum, Glen Mourning. Welcome here to the show, Glen.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. And taking the trip up from D.C., we have to say.
Oh, no, of course, of course.
So I want to ask you, how did your college career kind of lead into this writing? Because I'm a UConn alum. I'm not writing any books.
No, sure. So for as long as I can remember, writing was therapeutic. So in a sense, you know, going through some of the emotional heartache of not necessarily making it to the pros, I thought, you know, what better way to communicate what I was feeling at the time than writing? You know, keeping those memories, you know, front and center for as long as possible. And before I knew it, you know, a year went by, 2 years went by, and I had a collection of, you know, just this awesome opportunity to share what it was like with the rest of the world. And I said, you know, why keep it to myself?
Yeah. Well, it's great that you're able to pay it forward through the art of writing, but it's interesting because you were the second overall recruit out of high school. You could have gone to Notre Dame. You said, hey, I'm staying here in the state at UConn, but then you face this injury, so it has to be somewhat deflating or depressing in the sense to say, hey, this is my life, this is my career, football, and to have that taken away from you.
So the universal message that I'm hoping to communicate throughout the story is that, you know, when one dream comes to an end, it doesn't mean that you stop dreaming or stop, you know, caring about yourself as much as you used to. You have to just reshape what you think success looks like for yourself in the moment, and then eventually, you know, if you believe long enough and you hold on to it long enough, that, you know, you could eventually become even more successful than you thought, you know, in the beginning of, you know, when that dream first started.
Yeah. Now, Glenn, on the UConn campus, the athletes are a little bit of royalty, I would say. Did you have any struggles besides the injury?
Well, fortunately enough, I think that my roommate, Tyler Lorenzen, who was the starting quarterback at the time, you know, I kind of, you know, I followed his lead in terms of just like the social atmosphere of it all. But as long as you're a genuine person and you show people, you know, that you care for their well-being, regardless if you're a starter or not, you know, your experience on that campus was a pretty heartfelt and memorable opportunity.
I feel like this is relatable to so many people because you look at what you aspire to do and you might not achieve that success or that thing, but you might achieve something else while doing that, which is important to keep in mind and keep a positive perspective.
No, absolutely. And then in regards to just being a writer overall, I found it absolutely just the best source of
almost therapy, would you say?
Yeah, and too, like, to go into writing a second book about you know, the kid's guide to success. As a classroom teacher myself for the past 5 years, I think that when you take your experiences throughout my college experience and then you tie them to what's necessary to build your confidence and to build your
to real life,
and to believe in yourself so much to the point where, you know, no one can tell you no. You'll never be second string in anything else after this again. You know, so you know, Dreams Interrupted was born with just not wanting to give up on myself, and the Kid's Guide to Success is what I'm hoping will reach, you know, every doorstep, you know, for young readers in Connecticut.
And you have some upcoming events that people can head on over to and check out, meet you, grab the book.
Yeah, so in September I'll be back in Connecticut at Barnes & Noble once, you know, the school year ends down in D.C. But I'll be in Connecticut for the next 8 hours or so, visiting 2 elementary schools in Danbury, which I have the opportunity of sharing the same message with, you know, a few hundred students at a time. And down in D.C. there'll be some official book signings happening with a bunch of my teammates flying in before their NFL camps start.
And of course, online. You guys got to check it out on Amazon, right?
Yeah, on Amazon. And then, you know, for more information about, you know, not only the books, but, you know, ways to continue to believe in yourself, you can check out, you know, morningknows.com, which is where, you know, I'll be documenting my experience as a writer and as an educator.
That's great.
What an inspiration to a lot of young people. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
All right, coming up next, Companions and Homemakers talks about the